When the sun went down, everything changed completely. Darkness swallowed everything beyond the fire's small glow. And in that blackness, something could be watching. A hunter strained his ears, gripping his spear tight. A child clung to her mother, trembling with fear. From above, their fire looked impossibly small and lonely. Someone always stayed awake, guarding against the unknown. The group pressed close together, spears facing outward. At last, dawn broke, and the fear melted away. Beyond the firelight, bigger, hungrier animals ruled the night. A single roar could freeze an entire camp instantly. Ancient humans were not always the top of the chain. Claws and teeth could end a life in seconds. Fire became their greatest shield against the predators. They learned to read tracks, scat, and warning calls. Sleeping in trees or caves kept the ground predators out. Even today, that ancient instinct still makes us jump. Fire was life itself, and losing it meant disaster. Without flame, there was no warmth, light, or safety. Some tribes carried embers for miles, never letting them out. Making new fire from scratch took skill and patience. A failed fire on a freezing night could kill them. When the flame finally caught, relief spread across every face. A sudden storm could feel like the sky itself was furious. Lightning split the sky with a terrifying, blinding crack. Many believed thunder was the voice of an angry god. A struck tree could burst into flame in an instant. Caves became the safest shelter when the storm raged. When the storm passed, they thanked the sky for mercy. Rivers that gave them water could just as easily take everything. A flash flood could sweep away a whole settlement. Some cultures told of a flood that drowned the world. High ground became sacred, a promise of survival. They learned to read clouds and rivers before disaster struck. When waters finally receded, they rebuilt from the mud. The greatest daily fear was simply not finding food. A bad season could mean starvation for the whole tribe. They ate almost anything: roots, insects, bone marrow, bark. Sharing food, even scraps, kept the whole group alive. Storing food for winter became a matter of survival. A successful hunt brought pure, overwhelming joy and relief. Sickness could strike suddenly, with no understood cause. Without medicine, even a small wound could turn deadly. Healers used herbs, chants, and whatever wisdom they had. Illness spreading through camp could feel like a curse. Isolating the sick was one of their earliest survival tricks. Recovery felt like a small miracle worth celebrating. Death was constant, sudden, and impossible to explain. They wondered where a person went after their last breath. Burial rituals began as ways to ease that fear. Some believed spirits of the dead still lingered nearby. Grief was heavy, but shared together within the tribe. Facing mortality pushed them to find meaning in life. Bringing new life into the world was terrifyingly dangerous. Many mothers and babies did not survive childbirth. Experienced women acted as midwives, guiding each birth. A newborn's first cry brought overwhelming relief and joy. The whole camp celebrated every child who survived infancy. Strangers on the horizon could mean trade or war. Territory disputes could turn violent very quickly. Scouts were sent ahead to watch for danger. Alliances between friendly tribes meant safety in numbers. A surprise raid could destroy a camp overnight. Peace, when it held, let both tribes thrive. No one knew what lay beyond the far mountains. Old stories warned of monsters at the world's edge. Some believed the earth simply ended in nothing. Curiosity sometimes won out over that deep fear. Every migration meant leaving the known world behind. What they found beyond often reshaped their entire world. When the sun vanished at midday, panic could spread instantly. Some believed a great beast was devouring the sun. People banged drums and shouted to scare it away. When light returned, they believed their efforts had worked. A blood-red moon was seen as an even darker omen. A mountain that breathed smoke was a mountain to fear. When it finally erupted, the ground itself seemed to scream. Rivers of fire could swallow forests in minutes. Ash blocked the sun for days, turning day into night. Surviving tribes moved far away, never to return. Deep water hid dangers no one could see clearly. Few ancient humans ever learned to swim well. Crossing a river could be more dangerous than any hunt. Strange shapes below the surface fueled tales of monsters. Rafts and simple boats slowly conquered that ancient fear. A snake hidden in grass could strike without warning. That fear may be older than humans themselves. One small bite could bring agonizing, sudden death. They learned which plants could heal and which could kill. Testing new foods on small amounts kept them alive. Not everything that looked edible was actually safe. A wrong mushroom could kill within a single day. Knowledge of safe plants was passed down carefully. That hard-won wisdom could mean life or death for generations. Winter could freeze a person to death within hours. Frostbite silently crept into fingers, toes, and ears. Animal furs became the difference between life and death. A blocked cave entrance kept precious warmth from escaping. Spring's first green shoot meant survival had been won. Being alone in the wild was almost a death sentence. Exile from the tribe meant facing every danger unaided. Cooperation, not strength alone, was humanity's greatest advantage. Belonging to the group felt as vital as food itself. Even now, isolation still triggers that same ancient fear. Bad luck was often blamed on unseen, angry spirits. Rituals and charms were meant to ward off harm. Certain places were avoided, believed to be cursed ground. Dreams were treated as messages from another world. These beliefs gave frightening events a sense of order. Every disaster was proof that greater powers were displeased. Offerings of food and treasures aimed to calm their anger. A good harvest was proof the gods were finally pleased. These early beliefs became humanity's very first religions. Fire that escaped control could destroy everything they had. Wind could turn a small flame into a monster. Whole forests could burn for days without stopping. Animals fled together, a truce between predator and prey. They dug trenches and cleared brush to stop it spreading. When rain finally came, it was the greatest relief. From the ashes, new green growth always returned. The open sea held creatures beyond anyone's imagination. A shark's fin could turn a calm swim deadly. Storms at sea left no safe place to hide. Some believed giant serpents guarded the ocean's edge. Coastal tribes learned tides better than anyone else. A safe catch from the sea fed the whole village. Sometimes the smallest creatures brought the greatest devastation. A locust swarm could strip a field bare in hours. Disease-carrying insects spread illness no one understood. Smoke and fire were used to drive the swarms off. Losing a harvest to insects meant a hungry winter ahead. Some tribes learned to eat the very insects that plagued them. Even the solid earth beneath their feet could betray them. A sudden tremor could collapse caves and shelters instantly. Some believed a giant beast moved beneath the ground. Aftershocks kept fear alive long after the first shake. They rebuilt on the same ground, fear or not. Every fear we've explored once served a real purpose. Fear pushed ancient humans to adapt, cooperate, and survive. Without that fear, our species might never have lasted. So which ancient fear do you think you'd have felt most?